I was told that I needed to be here, and I felt I did because I come from an academic background. So
Yep.
the lecture, you got a formula, and that was it. And I need to connect at a different level for what I'm doing and the message I want to give.
Well, you
Simple.
don't connect through a formula. I can tell you that. You connect by elevating your message and understanding the issues that the audience is going through. The connection is never made. Everybody, please pay attention to this part. It's very important.
This is a writer downer.
The connection is never made in your solution. The connection is never made in your solution. All of you have a solution to people's problems. I don't care, they don't care, we're never gonna care. I don't like your solution. I don't want your program. I don't want anything you have to sell. That's not where the connection will be made. The connection is always made around your understanding of what people are going through. So you've got to elevate your message, and it is, I don't mean this in a rude way, it is especially hard for people who come from academia to elevate their message because they are used.
And just so you know, Susan, we've had so many people in your
One of our
boat.
most successful.
One of our most successful. We get it. We hear what you're saying. We really do.
I'm going to give you a line from Stephen King. If people wanted to be educated, textbooks would be bestsellers. Everybody pay attention to that. You're so heavy into your content, you want to educate your audience. If people wanted to be educated, textbooks would be bestsellers. So, what is your problem then now based on what you're telling us?
What you just said really makes sense, that the connection has to be something that's personal to me.
No, let me stop you.
Nope.
Connection has nothing to do with you. You are just the tool that the information flows through.
You're the
eventually.
vessel. You're the
That's
vessel.
It. But it's nothing to do with you, and it's everything to do with them. You know what you're talking about. That's your problem. You know everything they ought to do. That's your problem. You don't get them. That's your problem.
So let me give you a little note, and then we're going to go to, thank you, Susan. Thank you for being vulnerable, and thank you for stepping up. Let's get our next person, and while we're getting that next person, let me give you guys a piece of information.
Lucy.
Hold 1 second, Lucy. Formulas are for fear-mongering. Let me talk to you about this for a second. Formulas are for fear-mongering, because here's what happens. It means that you are afraid and you believe that your audience is afraid, and so you're going to take information and shove it down their throat no matter how they feel. Do you get that, guys? You realize a formula does that. Do you get that, guys? Because if I am in a formula, I am in a fixed state, and I don't give a damn how Lucy feels, and Lucy doesn't matter. I have a formula. You know what matters? The formula matters, not Lucy. And this is the most painful thing we go through. 8 years we've been doing this. And people fall apart. People leave our event at this point. People come up to us on breaks and cuss us out. Thank God we're not in person. We can avoid that this time. That's a good thing about virtual.
That's part of my favorite
It's our favorite part of the event. I know. And people really lose their heads around this when they finally get it. Is formulas are about, I don't care about you. You don't matter. The connection is irrelevant. I have a speech, and Larry, you better take it.
That's right.
Do you guys get that? I want to work with Lucy. I want to look in the feed. I want to see what aha that is, or what's that doing for you.
Lucy, talk to me. You have to unmute. You're still muted.
All right, are we having to go to somebody else?
No, there she is.
Now we
She's
can hear you,
good now.
Lucy.
We're back to Lucy.
Go ahead, Lucy. Yay, go ahead.
Okay, so the connection is irrelevant. You've got me all confused here.
I love it.
You hope so?
No, I said I love it. I love it. And I love that you're being open. Go ahead.
Okay, I always thought that it wasn't the what that you sold, but the who. And that would be the connection.
What do you mean by that? Explain that to me.
Well, it doesn't matter what I sell. The connection that I have with people. I mean, I could tell them porridge if they really liked me, and that's what I've learned to believe. Is that true or not true?
No, that's not true.
That's not true. Okay.
Here's where, whoops, here's what you said is true, that you can sell them porridge. That's kind of true. I've told people for years that if I connect around their problem, what my solution is does not matter. I really could tell you to stand on your head and whistle the Star Spangled Banner backwards, and if I connected with you around your problem, you would go try to do that. So the connection we're talking about, Lucy, is you understanding them. Speakers try to be great speakers by getting clear about who they are. That's great, but it's who you are in relationship to what's going on in the world. Who you are in relationship to what's going on in the world allows you to connect with what's going on in the world, and that's when people trust you. And when people trust you, they do business with you.
Right.
Does that help, Lucy?
Absolutely, it helps.
And obviously, we're going to break this down for you for 3 days, Lucy. Now, right now, we're trying to mind expand, and then we will get to the tactical of this, right? We'll get to how you do it and what it looks like and how it shows up. So thank you, Lucy. I appreciate it. We're going to take one more team. I am ready. Are you ready? Who do we have next? Paula. Paula. Hello, Paula. How are you? Welcome. You have a beautiful background. Can we come to sit in your room? Doesn't it look so warm and welcoming? I love it. Paula, what are we doing to you?
I'm concerned that I will forget stuff, or if I don't,
I love this.
What do you mean? What are you going to forget?
forget what I wrote or forget. I want to go out and have fun.
This is a great conversation.
I love it.
Paula, I love it. I want to thank you. Can we get a hell yeah for Paula? Just put your paddle up, you bet, or hell yeah if you're like, I get it. I'm worried about that too. So I wanted to come here and I wanted to get a formula, and then I was going to spend 30 days memorizing it, and then I was going to practice it, and I was going to deliver it. And who are you assholes? Right? That's pretty much what's going on for a lot of people. So I love that you're bringing this up, Paula. Yeah.
Paula, any speech that is memorized is a failed speech because you will forget. You will lose your place, and it will be a train wreck, and you will feel terrible because you have failed, and it's because you have failed. That's what people teach, though. Again, that's the difference between what we do and what goes on in the world. You get a template, you get a formula on how to write the keynote, you spend all of your time writing the keynote. Let me tell you all right now, great speeches are never written. Great speeches don't come from the page. Great speeches come from the stage. Our stage is different, but it happens with you having an experience and a conversation. What is a conversation?
Talk between two people.
That's exactly right. That's why speakers are failing right now. For 30 years, I had a monologue. Suzette and I talked about this recently. I had a monologue for 30 years. I don't give a damn what's going on out there or what you think. I know what you're going through, and I'll explain that more later. Now, in this world, we have a dialogue. And so a great speech is a conversation between you and the audience about what they're going through.
And that is the transition that's happening right now. And guys, I can tell you, I've been on 3 or 4 speaker trainings in the last, I'd say 6-8 months. And they're teaching you how to be a speaker and doing it on Zoom. You will not be in business in a year or 3 years. The world is not going back to normal. Does everybody get that? The world is not going back to normal. There's not even a new normal. The normal is changing every 2 days to 2 months. And so there is the now. And what we're going to be doing over the next 3 days is developing a skill set for you that you will be successful in any situation in the world. You will be so diversified in your talent and your skill set and your experience and your depth of knowledge that you can be called on to speak for 1 minute, you can be called on to speak for 1 day, you can be called on to speak on a stage, you can be called on to speak on a Zoom, you can be on Facebook Live, and you will be successful wherever you go because you are not a speaker, you are a connected communicator on your subject matter.
And Paula, the reason you're afraid about forgetting is because you believe that having a great speech is going to be the solution. We don't have to learn what we're going to say here. It comes from who we are. Our experience, our research. Please, folks, write those two things down. Speaking is a depth of experience and a depth of research. And when you have experience and you call on your life experiences, and when you've done your research, then you don't have to think about the right words. And guess what? No one cares if you have the perfect right words. They don't. There are better ways to say some things than other ways. But the point is, would you forgive me right now if I flub my words?
No.
You would forgive me, wouldn't you?
I would forgive you, yes.
Would you care? Would you think I was stupid if I flubbed my words? Okay. I flub
think you're
words all the
human.
time. I appear on national television all the time and flub words. And you know what? So does Neil Cavuto, and so do the people interviewing me. They flub their words. I don't think they're stupid or don't know what they're talking about. They forget what they're saying. I watched a national news reporter this morning get so lost and stop and say, just a minute, and regrouped and went right on. And this guy's making $10 million a year to be on TV. Don't worry about it. Having a conversation about what they're going through is going to be much more important in the long run. And you can do that when you have clarity about who you are and how it connects.
Would you agree that we're giving a speech right now? Like we've been giving kind of mini speeches throughout the morning. These are our notes. This is not a written speech. These are the points that we want to make in each content session and some things that the team says you got to do this or people will forget. So we have an idea of it, but because we know what we're doing and we've done it for so long and we've practiced it and we have written out concepts around it and ideas, we can just go on that topic. So you're going to be okay because you're here. And I mean that sincerely. You would struggle with a template because you're already worried about forgetting. So you will absolutely forget. What we're going to give you is a confident skill set where you will be certain every time you speak, even when you're uncertain. Hell yeah!